My name is Stephanie Thompson. I'm an associate professor here at Ferris State University. The communication program is housed in the humanities department, and part of my role is to advocate for the public advocacy program.
Okay, public advocacy is a branch of communication here at Ferris that focuses in not just on the broad communication aspects, but how to use that communication skills to then go out and make an impact in different advocacy groups or different religious groups that you may be a part of or wish to work for in the future.
Living with a cause, acting in a way that you know that you can influence the environment around you, and striving to actually make a difference in the status quo.
It means careers that are focused on different areas of interest. We look at jobs in a variety of different places. Students interested in public advocacy can find all kinds of positions in nonprofit agencies. There are over 42,000 nonprofit agencies just in Michigan alone, and they employ over 400,000 people.
Communication classes feed the public advocacy major very, very well. Ones that definitely would be a part of it. Dr. Thompson teaches a public advocacy class which focuses on persuasive movements, social movements, and they study researchers in communication that are very well known.
So we have a public advocacy class that you really learn what advocacy is, different advocacy movements throughout history.
At the same time, there is a capstone course, which is public advocacy, and it looks at the history of advocacy and social movements. But it also looks at ways in which students can begin getting involved in advocacy efforts.
For example, the civil rights movement, farm workers union.
Whether they're things such as the Martin Luther King March on campus, so they can see the way marches play a role in advocacy, or there are also opportunities in the spring semester to be a part of the Chavez March, which goes on in Grand Rapids in memory of Cesar Chavez and the advocacy work he did for farm workers. So there are lots of opportunities, and the capstone course really wants students to get involved. But this program takes what would be a very broad applied speech communication degree and focuses it in. So there is a section of courses that are focused on things such as theories of persuasion, which is particularly important to people seeking to advocate for others.
Well, I've taken debate classes. You can either take a debate or a persuasive speaking class, and I decided to do the argument and debate class because it sounds pretty fun.
Obviously, the persuasion courses would be very relevant, and one thing that people need to understand, I think people who aren't familiar with communication studies, they usually think, oh, it's all public speaking and that's it. And the big shockaroo, once they look at the major, is that no, a lot of the courses, although they're communication intensive in terms of verbal communication, many of them are highly theoretical.
You also get to learn about the bureaucracy behind advocacy, so like the theories of persuasion themselves. And then finally you take a leadership class where you get to actually learn about how to handle crises in leadership positions and how to develop that leadership in an organization to actually affect the change you want to see.
I'm teaching, for example, our capstone course right now in the communication major, which all students have to take unless you're in the sports communication major, and studying social movements and primary readings about social movement theory were a big part of that experience.
We do leadership and communication, looking at leaders specifically, and different conflict resolution and conflict management. We also take diversity and cross-cultural communication.
If you're interested in making a difference in your community or working with different outreach programs, that public advocacy is definitely the way to go. Allows you to have time in classroom where you're doing service, learning projects, working with different community members. It really allows you to focus your attention and your schooling on how to better be able to make a difference.
A lot of the time why people don't get involved in causes is because they feel like, what can I do? what does my action matter, but really anything you do is a ripple in the wave.
And how to work within an organization and how to communicate the message that you and your organization are trying to put forth to make a difference in people's lives.
We live in a place where democracy rules and where what the majority wants is what's going to affect change, and the only way to get that is to make sure that people are believing in their actions and their words. So I would just say, live a meaningful life, live out loud your beliefs and your values, and you'll see the change that you want.